I did get to see a lot of really cool upcoming games. A few of the things that I got the opportunity to see while I was there. Oneway.exe. Disordered Media is the group that does this, but I got to play the demo for Oneway.exe. Now, there is another demo on Steam, which is the one that you're seeing here. This demo, I was informed by Disordered Media, is actually kind of semi-irrelevant now. So there is, fingers crossed soon, an updated demo that will be dropping here shortly. So I'm pretty excited about that. But you'll notice that the Steam page is here. So if this is a game that you want to check out, I definitely recommend it. Disordered Media is made up of people, a handful of people, one of which some of you may actually know, Arachnid. So if you guys were not aware, I'm sure you have seen Arachnid before. And if
They're a living Tim Burton character.
They're literally a living Tim Burton character, but they're super fucking sweet. Like, super sweet. This person initially had done a handful of things. He had done a handful of things that were correlated to just random picture posts and things like that. Like, I'm sure you have seen them go viral a time or two. But I didn't realize they were a fucking game dev along with Bugs. And so I walk up on this game, Oneway.exe, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute here.
I know you.
Yeah, I'm like, what? So I look at it and I go, holy fuck, wait a minute. So I get excited about this game because it immediately looks like something I'm gonna play. And Arachnid walks up to me and is like, oh, hey. And I was like, what, I want to check this out. Like, I gotta come back Sunday, but like, I want to check this out. And they're like, yeah, it's our game. And I was like,
what?
You're a fucking game, like indie horror, what? And he was like, yeah, it's, Bugs and I made it and da-da-da, and like went into the explanation, and I was like, no. So I got super stoked because not only is it an indie horror game that is up my alley, but it's an indie horror game that's up my alley, and it's a position where I can support another creator. Especially another creator that I've known Arachnid, like not known, but I say known loosely. I hate saying I know someone from the internet.
Aware of each other.
Yeah, but we've been mutuals for several years. So suddenly finding out that they have a game, I was like, okay. And I got super fucking stoked. So
it's a very nifty demo.
It's so much fun, and I'm excited because again, I'm gonna stream the demo when they update it. I did ask them while I was at PAX East what the tentative release date for the updated demo would be for Steam. They did inform me that it's probably gonna be Steam Next Fest, like the next one that comes around, so a couple of weeks, I think. Yeah. But when it drops, I will be playing the demo, so you guys can check this out. I'm excited. And the reason I specifically wanted to bring up Oneway.exe is because Arachnid and Bugs and their dev team not only are independent devs on a very, very small team, but they took the concept of what horror inherently is at its core, of various genre and style, added this intelligent umbrella story, but then broke that umbrella story into 7 separate stories, each one told in a different horror genre style. And the entire time you have a looming undertone of that umbrella story, but each one of these characters that they have are their own archetype, and they present their own concept. So I only got to play one of the available stories because I obviously didn't want to take up the entire time for the demo for other people who may want to play. But I got the opportunity to be able to play Fiona. Yeah, thank you. I got the opportunity to play Fiona's level. And that was the one that was recommended by Arachnid, who was like, hey, what kind of games do you like? Or what style of horror do you like? And I told them, I was like, I like the story build, the slow burn kind of, build up for that. Something about narrative driven stories are great. And they're like, okay, great. Here's this. So he recommended Fiona. It was awesome. and I was immediately enamored. The fact that it was not just smart puzzles, but the storytelling was fun, and you kind of are picking apart the overall story while also picking up pieces of these characters in their own stories. So I really think it's going to be a good indie horror game to keep your eyes on, for sure. Like, 100% believe that. And again, please remember, wishlisting stuff helps endlessly for these devs, especially indie horror devs, because not a lot of the time do they get the opportunity to actually have their stuff seen, you know? And this is someone who personally who is personally a mutual, so like being able to hype them the fuck up is 100% something I want to be able to do. And then the other one was I got to meet the dev of what is it? We Harvest Shadows. We Harvest Shadows was the demo that we played that was like the first person like borderline farm simulator that was also horror. And like your house starts getting fucked up in the middle of the night. So I got to meet David Well. Hopefully I'm not mispronouncing their last name, but I got to meet David, and they were super fucking sweet, first of all. Not to mention, they had concepts for improvement and a few other things. It's probably going to be a later year release, but it is definitely one I'm going to keep on my page. So those two for sure. DreadXP also, obviously, I feel it's not a sponsorship. I should be extremely clear about that. Like, they didn't pay me to hype them up, but I feel obligated to hype up DreadXP because they've been so good to me, you know, for the last couple of years. And
homies you've made along the way.
Yeah, like
DreadXP.
True homies. But DreadXP has a few things, and obviously they had some recent success with White Knuckle, specifically. And White Knuckle is, I don't know if I'm gonna go for it. I might.
Right.
We'll see.
By the way, we walked right past her.
Did we?
Yeah.
I feel dumb. That's fine.
It's okay.
It's a female dev specifically, which is also, love that for her. Like, go queen. But White Knuckle had a modicum of success for sure. And now they had a couple of demos available, including Amanda the Adventurer,
Pigface.
3, Pigface, and then a third one.
Is it Vile Hue?
No. Something else. Pigface. Okay, listen. So I hadn't seen anything for Pigface yet, and I walked up to the booth to say hey for the homies. Pigface was interesting. Now, if you haven't seen Pigface yet, which a lot of you may not have, because Pigface
really
technically is really new, Pigface was strange. So this is the Steam page for Pigface. And again, the developer is Tito Loves You, but the publisher, of course, is DreadXP. Now, Pigface has this really visceral... Manhunt. Yes. Manhunt. That is actually a great descriptor. Because the synopsis is, you wake up with an explosive headache in a pool of your own blood. Your exit, a terrible woman whose awful past has finally caught up to her. Fulfill contracts for the people who drilled into your skull. Guns blazing, slow and tactical. It doesn't matter. They know you'll do whatever it takes. This game is messy. I think messy is a really good word for it, because it's
messy, but it also gives just enough plot that it keeps you like.
What was
also
that
being messy?
What was that PS2 game? Not Manhunt, but there was another one. Condemned. Do you guys remember Condemned? It had almost like, yeah, well, like Postal meets Condemned meets Manhunt, except it had like this wild undertone of a story that was actually really interesting. So it was a smart enough game where you're picking up context clues as you're playing that it maintained interest for someone who wants the intelligent aspects of a story, but it was like,
you can also just beat up stuff.
It was gore corn.
Yeah.
It was gore corn. I think I spent 10 minutes trying to dismember a body.
With a hammer.
With a hammer.
Successfully.
I did it. But I definitely did it. But yeah, if you were fans of that kind of style of game, I honestly would tell you to give it a go. Specifically, I think... Yeah, so the demo launch for Steam is coming soon for Pigface, but I don't know, if you want something to kind of blow off steam but still go in for the story, this is going to be a good game for that for sure. But you can pick up active weapons consistently through the game. I don't know, it was something. It was something. On the cute side of things, the Corgi game.
Corgi's Cozy Hiker, I think.
A Corgi's Cozy Hike. And I'm not shitting.
I've been watching this game for 3 PAXs now.
This game is due technically Q2, but more than likely it'll probably be closer towards Q3. But this game is literally a cute game about a cute corgi doing cute corgo things, like the traditional Twinkie butt it is. So what I like about this game specifically for this is it is a cozy game. I know that a lot of the times your guys' expectation of me is, oh my god, well you stand indie horror in this house, and that's true. But every so often I can't help myself over the cute Animal Crossing style games. And boy howdy, this one in particular.
It's just what Lisi does when we're not looking.
Pretty much. So here's the thing that I love about this game. Specifically, you see rescue dogs in-game and in real life. Now, this game, and what I love about it, is that the developer of this game actually put real-life rescue dogs and so on in the game. So a lot of the proceeds that they make, 10% specifically of the purchase of this game, goes to animal shelters.
Yep.
And I love that.
And this is the thing that these developers do, because they have other games that are mobile. I think there might be a desktop one, but I know there's a mobile one they've already released that they also basically
do the same
most of the proceeds back into the shelters, and they're also shelter dogs.
A Corgi's Cozy Hike we saw, I think, about a year ago, and we kind of had our eyes on it, but they were at PAX East. And I love that for them, because getting eyes on a game like this, especially when you've got the donation to animal shelters to go with it, is awesome. And not to mention, what I ideally would like to do is periodically pick a cozy game and then correlated to that cozy game, do a charity stream that correlates to whatever. So for example, if we did, a Corgi's Cozy Hike, my agreement with Scalisco, which is the developer and publisher of this game, was that I would match their donations based upon charity donations made during my stream. And if that's something that I can work with them and we can kind of work together to get not only reach for their game, but also reach for these animal shelters where they need the extra boost. And right now it's really, really important. There's only so much that we can do at any given time, but what I don't think people realize is, especially for animal shelters, $1 fucking counts. Like, $1. So if I can provide some type of entertainment by playing this game, and not only advertising this game by playing it and being like, oh my god, it's so cozy, you should totally play it, then I think it's important to also note that being able to kind of host a charity and have you guys do like Tiltify, where you know where your money's going to specific shelters, and rotating shelters even, I think would be really fun. Yeah. So I supported this game. This is Poultry Party Games. Good Dog Chasing Shadows was not at PAX East, but I specifically want to bring it out in correlation to charity streams, because I supported this game specifically on Kickstarter. And so I was a pretty big funder because I loved the idea. And not to mention, you get to play as a dog. And I just love it. I love the idea that you get to play as a puppo. I helped fund the Kickstarter. And in doing so, one of the rewards for this game is that I got to put one of my dogs in the game. And So for those of you that, you know, maybe weren't there at the time, or you know, obviously time has passed since then, I lost Immortal Moon, my hybrid, my one of, you know, Roxy and him were like my heart dogs, but I lost Moon the November before last, and he was older, but you know, life goes on and shit happens. So when I saw that they needed the extra boost and support, I had been watching this game before the launch of the Kickstarter. So then seeing it, I was super stoked, and I was like, oh fuck, like oh my god, like I really want to support that. What I wound up doing is going through the info for Poultry Party Games, again, who's the developer and the publisher, and one of the rewards was being able to put your dog in the game as one of the selectable playable characters. So that's what I did. And so I sent him pictures of Immortal. I don't have any updates yet, but if I do get them, I will ask permission to share them. Whether they're watermarked or not, it'll probably be in Discord, but I'm excited. And this one I think will be a lot of fun. Specifically in Good Dog Chasing Shadows, you play as a dog defending your family from paranormal creatures. So it's kind of relatively, I don't want to say open world, but like, from what I've seen so far, there's a lot of like probability of area, basically. There is exploration, there is mystery, but you solve environmental puzzles and you save your loved ones and uncover the mystery. So you get to be a good dog. And I loved it. I thought that it was a cute concept. It's horror, but it's like almost cozy horror in a sense. So lots of good games coming. Obviously I'm biased and I specifically kind of stuck to the horror related games. And then there was a handful of other like various cozy games and different things like that. But PAX East was really solid. I think you guys are gonna like a lot of the upcoming games coming in. Specifically though, definitely wishlist Oneway.exe and We Harvest Shadows and Pigface, because those were fun, especially depending on the type, and the Corgi game, especially depending on the type of game you like or the type of horror you like, if that's the case.